And I'm Wood.
And welcome to
Cooking with Class.
So what are we going to make today, Z?
I don't know. We haven't really planned anything.
I don't know. How's your brother doing, Big Wood?
Big Wood. He's actually studying abroad in Spain.
I heard about that. How's he?
Yeah, he loves it there. He has having a great time. Los chicos borrachos, you know.
What does that mean?
The happy boys.
Happy voice.
That's what they call his friend group there, the happy boys.
That
Chicos
reminds
borrachos.
That reminds me of something.
Yeah.
Last time I was in Spain,
Yeah.
I had the best dish.
What was Bob?
Paella.
Paella.
Do you think we have the ingredients for paella?
I think we might.
Oh my goodness.
Let's make paella.
Alright, to start off this recipe, what will the first thing that we do?
So first, you're going to start with the chicken piece of this recipe. And you're going to want about a pound of chicken. A little more, a little less, just depending on how much you like chicken. You're going to want to open up your package. And you're going to want to get a cutting board.
Make sure you wash your hands before and after handling any raw meat because it could be very dangerous.
Okay, so we're going to need a cutting board. And you're going to want to cube your chicken. So, what I like to do is lay out all my chicken. And then just kind of cut it up all at once. So, I'm going to start with 3 pieces. Thank you, Robin. A nice sharp knife always does the trick.
Those are some good looking cubes.
Thanks,
This
Bob.
reminds me of the time that we made Bob's Kebabs.
Oh yes, I do not believe that episode aired due to fire.
We couldn't even see through the kitchen.
But you know, occupational hazards. Am I right?
You are right. It's like you're a professional at cutting chicken.
Thanks, Bob. Would you like to do some also?
Okay.
Okay.
Why don't you start explaining the next step?
Okay. Next, you're going to want to get a medium-sized bowl. This one right here will do the trick. And then you're going to want to get a tablespoon. Get my handy dandy. You're going to want to put in 2 tablespoons of fresh olive oil. A lot of times the lids to olive oil are slippery due to the oil on them.
Don't you say.
1. Come with me, Bill. 2. Thanks. So first you're going to want to add in the paprika. I personally like about a teaspoon, but you can really do it however you like. That looks about right.
Good amount of paprika.
Now make sure you don't break the paprika box because they're very fragile.
Oh, I feel like I'm going to sneeze.
Also add in your oregano. Again, really just however much you want. That looks about right. It's really just your taste. If you like oregano, put in more. If you don't, put in some less.
You know what the oregano reminds me of?
What does it remind you of, Bob?
Pizza.
Pizza. Oh, yes. That was a good episode. If you've seen that one.
We should air the bloopers.
We should air those bloopers. I believe that the entire show
Was a blooper.
was a blooper. Okay, so we're going to cube a little bit more chicken here. You're going to also want to add in some salt and pepper into this bowl. So, it's really just a tasting again.
So, a fun fact is that I'm going to England, and Z over here is going to Spain, and we're going to be on the same plane.
I don't think that's how planes work. However, we will be in the same airport at the same
And
time.
we're going to sit next to each other on the plane.
And I do not think that's how planes operate. So in this bowl you have your olive oil, your paprika, your oregano, your pepper, and your salt. So once all the chicken is cubed, you're just going to want to put that into the bowl. And then you're just going to want to mix it by hand. It's kind of fun, but a little bit dangerous. we like to live on the edge a little bit. So just mix it all up. Get your hands dirty. Because you really want it totally covered. Every piece covered with olive oil, a little bit of spice. So once you have it all evenly coated, you're going to want to refrigerate that while you work on the next step.
Alright, I'll take that. You wash your hands.
Okay, Bob. You don't have to tell me twice. You're also going to want 1 Spanish onion or yellow onion. So, just cut off the ends, nubs.
The nubs. What a nice nub.
I would eat that nub if I were. I don't even know. So peel off all the skin there, because we all know that's not good.
Ooh, that was a good peel.
Thanks, Bob. Okay, once you've peeled all that, you're just going to want to slice that up. Would you like to
You still have some of the nub.
screw the nub?
Perfect.
Sorry. Okay, once the nub is completely gone, see what I like to do is actually a little technique. Cut down, but not all the way.
Oh my god, it's making me cry.
Bob, it's okay. Now be careful of the fingers, because those are necessary.
I can't. You should wear sunglasses.
And then, now it's not cut all the way, you can cut this way, and it'll fall off very nice. Perfect.
But why not cut it all the way through?
Because it stays together a little bit nicer.
I can't feel my eyes.
So now you can just chop that up a little bit more if you like, depending on the size of onion you want in your paella.
We like it nice and small.
Some of us here like it very small, some of us like it large. Who knows?
And white onions aren't the only recipe that, or
Yellow.
yellow onions work.
Okay, so as Robin chops that up, you bring it
Into
over.
it.
Robin will cut the onions a little bit finer.
You had to take a break to cry. One thing that they didn't have at the grocery store were safety goggles.
Parents, this is a job for you. Oh, God.
I can't do it.
They're good enough. They're good enough. All right, Bob, can you bring it over to the stove, please? You're also going to want to cut up 1 red onion.
I still can't see it.
So make sure you get out that core with all the seeds, because nobody wants to eat the seeds.
And I'm going to take these over to the stovetop.
No.
Not yet, though.
If they heat the oil in first. Okay, so chop up that bell pepper. Again, whatever size you would like.
I need to.
Okay, you can cover up your onions if you would like. It just me. Okay.
Onions taste so good.
But boy, do they hurt.
It hurts so bad.
Okay, so I'm going to cut these just into some nice sized cubes, about the size of your chicken.
You got to keep everything a very consistent size in order for everything to cook evenly.
You know, Robin, speaking of chicken, one of my friends owns some chickens. His name is Bart.
Bart Trippier.
He likes to have chickens. You know, he raises them, he takes the eggs, it's all very organic. And it's really a great lifestyle to have every morning. You get a couple eggs. And really, I wish we could do that.
We can always ask. How about we go over there and ask him?
Okay. Next, you're going to want to take your sausage, store-bought or homemade. We already made ours to save some time, and we packaged it for the general public.
It's homemade though. You can tell because there's no label on it.
So you're going to want to get your sausage, and Bob, we make these packages really hard to open.
Why would we ever do that to ourselves?
Yes.
Nice. Mm.
Okay. So once you have your sausages all out of the package, you're going to want to cut them up into some nice pieces, and really, again, the size that you would like. I like to keep them about the size of the chicken. What do you like, Bob?
I like that, if not bigger.
Yeah. Okay, so let's cut them up.
It's a nice cut.
Thank you.
Alright, so while that's happening, I'm going to start to heat up this pan on the stovetop.
You're going to want to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil into that pan, and just let it heat for a couple minutes. You just want it to be hot, so when you drop in the onions, they sizzle.
And you don't want to have the heat up too high. Just a simmer or like a medium heat is perfect. You don't want the olive oil to burn, which would just affect your entire meal.
So about 2 tablespoons of that.
I still can't see.
1, 2. And you're just going to want to swish that around to cover all corners of that pan.
Corners of that round pan.
They don't call me the geometry master for nothing, Bob. So you're going to want to turn that on at medium heat and let it sit for about 2 minutes. You're going to also want about 1 pound to ½ a pound of shrimp. We already cooked them to save some time, but you're going to want to take the tails off of them. And you can just rest them on your cutting board. We put them in a plastic wrapper or plastic container just before the show, after we cooked them. You know, Bob, the shrimp reminds me of that shrimp scampi episode.
Oh, wow. Everything just comes full circle, doesn't it?
I know.
That shrimp scampi, that was
good.
Inedible.
That also I do not think it aired due to...
Alright, I'm going to clean the shrimp.
Yeah, they are clean. Remember we already cooked them? So once the oil's hot, you're going to want to add in your onions. Listen to that sizzle. Okay, get a nice layer down. Just going to want those to cook up a little bit. Coat them all in the oil. That looks nice. Get a few flips in there. As they call me, the Flip Master.
What time?
42.
This is starting to smell very good.
Okay, so once you have the onions cooking for a little bit, you're going to want to get the chicken and spice mixture out of the refrigerator. And you're going to want to toss that in over the layer of onions. So Robin, if you would like to do the honors. Ooh, boy does that look good.
It smells delicious too. Alright. Get all that seasoning out of there.
Okay. Now you just smush that around a little bit. Once the chicken starts to cook, it should be about 5 minutes. You're going to want to then add in your red pepper. And you're going to want that to cook for about another 5 minutes, and then you're going to want to add in your sausage. So now that the peppers have been cooking for about 5 minutes, you're going to want to add in your shrimp and your sausage. So, as that's cooking, you're going to want to start off another large pan. This one has to be extra large. And once your rice is cooked, that's when you start this pan. So as Robin cooks that, you're going to want to get this big pan and turn it on a low to medium heat. You're going to want to heat 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Robin, can you just pass over that olive oil? Thank you, ma'am. Sir.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2. Beautiful. Now this pan will take a little while to get hot just because of its size, but it needs to be big because this is where you're going to be combining all of your ingredients. So as your oil heats up over here, you're going to want to chop up some garlic. I use about 4 cloves, and then you're just going to want to add that right in there. Chop that up really finely. Really, you're going to be mincing it. Okay, so now that you have that, you're going to want to add that into your pan of already heated oil. You're also going to want to add in some crushed red pepper flakes. If you like it spicy, add in a lot. If you don't, don't. I'm not going to stop you. So again, to slosh that around a little bit. Next, pile some of that in there. Boy, does that look good. Okay. And you're just going to want to slosh this around once again. Get it all mixed up. God, you know that's good. That's why they call me the Flip Master. This ingredient that you're going to be adding is not very common, and it's expensive. But if you have it, it really goes a long way. Saffron. You're going to want to open up the container that it comes in. It's really difficult once you got the oil on your hands, you know?
Oil on my hands.
Yeah, okay, so you're going to want to take only a few flakes because a little saffron really does go a long way. So this is really all you're going to need. And you're just going to want to put that into the pan. Beautiful. Maybe a couple more threads. And then again, just slosh it around. Maybe a few flips. If you're as talented as I at the flip game. Next, you're going to want to add in the parsley and the chicken stock. So when you're cutting up the parsley, you want to get all the leaves off. So you're going to also want to add in a little bit of lemon zest. Depending on how much you want is how much you add in. Great. And then add in your chopped parsley. Beautiful. And give it a little flip. And finally, into this pan, you're going to want to add in some chicken stock. About 1 cup. I'm just kind of eyeballing it here. And then you're going to want to really turn up the heat to about a medium. And mix that all in. And let it just kind of steep for about 8 minutes. So once everything's cooked, you're going to want to present it nicely. So it serves a lot of people, so here, Bob. You're going to want to spread that over a nice large platter.
This actually looks good.
The pizza looked good too.
It was black on the bottom.
It was black on the bottom. This looks good.
White.
Yep. I would agree that that's typically how things go. So that's layered nice. Layered very nicely. Beautiful. And then you're going to want to put some of this down as well. It's a little tougher than it looks, I have to say.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you make
Paella.
paella. Thank you for joining us today on our final episode
Of Cooking with Class. Now let's eat, Bob.